All right, here's the deal. I think it's more than obvious at this point what exactly is going on with this virus. It's gotten to the point where even the doctors, as they call themselves, have made it perfectly clear that it's not even about science. They're not even making scientific arguments anymore. It's more so about incentivizing people to put their faith in the government. Lest you believe me not. Here are the experts you've told us to trust yourselves.
We need to make it clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status.
So as you mentioned, if you're already considering getting vaccinated, it doesn't sound like a big deal, right? But just this is the kicker for me.
Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine?
She literally just said, what is the carrot going to be?
What's the carrot going to be?
They are baiting y'all with freedom. Like a rabbit with a carrot.
How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine?
So basically, they want you to think that this is the only way that you're going to be able to return to regular day life, is if you do what we tell you to do and just get the jab. Just get it.
So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have.
What about individuality? Individuality's fine, as long as we all do it together.
You say you can do all these things. You can live regular day life. You can do whatever it is you want to do, as long as you get the jab, as long as you get vaccinated. You only don't see an issue with it if you're a full-blown statist and you just let them control you emotionally, physically, in any aspect possible.
Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway. And I fear a situation of coming into the fall where we never reach herd immunity. And then we get hit by the next surge of COVID-19 in the fall, something that we could have prevented if we just got people vaccinated now.
First off, analytically speaking, that just doesn't make sense. All the states that are doing the best have opened completely back up, or at least come really close to that. So that's false, objectively speaking. But then there's this whole sort of collectivist idea that's running around that everyone seems to be adopting, at least in the public health landscape and in the public service landscape for the most part. And it's one thing to value safety. I'm not suggesting in the least that there's anything wrong with that, because there absolutely is not. But to suggest that safety should be the central building block of how we build civilization, this idea that our lives are built to function around just avoiding danger or avoiding illness, avoiding death, that's not life, that's survival. And I for one like to think that life is more than survival, and that freedom is more than just what the government tells you to do. I mean, I look at y'all kind of funny these days. Y'all know that Progressive insurance commercial where Jamie's talking about
this luscious mane of mine.
Then there's the other guy that's like,
Jamie, do you know what a beard is?
That's kind of how I look at y'all these days. I look at y'all talking about how you're gonna celebrate your rights, all this and that, and I'm just looking at y'all like, Jamie, do you know what a right is? I'll break it down for you. A right is when the government tells you that your existence is tolerable. You are actually entitled, by way of them, to have your own culture or to have build your own heritage. Eric July said back in 2017 that it's a contradiction if freedom has to be legalized. And I agree 100%. From then on, that my perspective on the state and really just rules in general, especially when by way of government officials, has completely changed. I question absolutely everything, because it's just like, my rights don't come from y'all, they come from God. Who are you to tell me what I can and can't do? Just think about that. And even if you don't even believe in a divine authority of any kind, don't you still find it kind of weird for people that don't even know you exist incentivize you to show up to the ballot box to put them in power so they can tell you what to do? I, for one, think there's something wrong with that. Just as a human being, that's not even as a Christian. Of course, my rights come from God, but even if we conceded that and put that to the side, no man can tell me what to do. No man can tell me what I'm supposed to put my faith in. No man can tell me that I need to put my faith in them. And I will not let them. Period.